Okay guys, now let's continue with the body, of course. So the body is this, Shift R, increase the resolution, Control R, smooth it, and then we can make a little bit of a chest in here. We can push this part, and here will be his belly, because he hasn't been very active, but he was eating a lot, because he's always like riding on his dragon, and he's not walking that much. That's why he has this kind of a belly. And this is not very good, especially for a kid, because when he's making this kind of fat in the beginning of his life, then it will be very difficult for him to kind of lower the fat when he's older. But it depends. If he loses the dragon, for example, and he has to walk and protect himself in the jungle from beasts like this dragon, for example, I think he will become either slimmer or food, which is two options that he has: slim, food, slim or food. Yeah. So let's go to our object mode, Shift A, go to curve and Bezier. Where is it? On the dragon's head. Tab and G move it. So now this will be his hand or arm, his arm. So one of his arms is pointing, one of his arms is pointing outward, and the other is in. But both of them, we will make them kind of normally, like we would. I will scale it with S. We make them normally, and then we will move them after. But first, let's make them like this. Put it here. Let's go to curve options and increase again the bevel. Okay, this big. Okay, it's fine. Both hands are not completely stretched, although this one maybe is stretched, which is holding the spear. But I will subdivide, select this V vector, and just make a little bit of a kind of a elbow thing, and I will pull this with R, pull this down. I don't want it to be too much up. Of course, one of the arms, as I told you, I will move up and everything, but first I will need the right proportions, and when I do the right proportions, the fingers and everything, I connect them, then I will be able to pose the arms. But for now, I will just be a little bit, Shift S is to scale a little bit down those areas, and Shift S to scale this a little bit more up. So you know that our wrist is big, and that's what we are doing. Of course, you see the distance between the wrist and the elbow is pretty small, so probably we should do that too. And overall, our head shouldn't be, hand or arm shouldn't be that tall. It should be like this, and then we will have a big hand in here. But for now, this is looking obviously kind of nice. Now, I'm a little bit worried about something. And what is this that you're worried about, Sensei? You will ask me. I will tell you. I'm worried because one of the arms is like this, the other arm will be a little bit tilted like this. So it could be a problem, but hopefully it won't be. So this is one arm. Let's go and convert to mesh. Then let's go to tab and press A and press F. And then while we're on the tab, by the way, we can go and extrude this and then Control R and make this. Do you know how to do this? So with Control R, you're doing edge loop, and with the scroll wheel, you can increase or decrease the edge loops. So we need like 3, for example, and we will be okay. Now I will smash this, and I'll probably smash also this, and then we'll go to sculpt mode and continue working on this. By the way, I will go to object mode and shade flat because I would like to see what's happening in the beginning. Shade smooth I do, and I work with shade smooth at the end, but in the beginning I like to see what's happening. I like to see the polygons. Where are they and what's happening? Here we will have our shoulder going outward, because let me show you a little bit of the anatomy here, how it will be. So the shoulder will go up to this area almost, and then we will have the chest a little bit, and then the triceps in the bottom. Here this will be, the biceps will go through here, and then this will be the forearm. So the shoulder will go much kind of outward. It will go like this here. In this, in the other part, it will not go that much outward, because it's like, he's like moving the shoulder. But yeah, you see, when you're doing this, you see where the shoulder is going. It's going much more out. It's like up to here. When we're doing here, it was here. The shoulder was here. Now it's, look where it is. So we have to make sure our shoulder is much more outward in this side. But since now we are doing it, it's symmetrical, it will be okay. Now let me just cue and symmetrize. Of course, I have to change the symmetry to -x to +x, and then I will change it back, and we have nice arms. And now these are our hands, and yeah, very good. We will do them. I will flatten a little bit, because most of the time the hand, this part of the hand, you see it's pretty flat. It's flat here, so that's why I'm doing it. I'm flattening it. But the wrists should be pretty thick and huge. So yeah, I will leave it as it is. Thick wrists are the best wrists, or not, but we'll see. Yeah, he's pretty hunched, so I can make it a little bit not so much. But he's standing pretty comfortably. He doesn't have something to put his back on, like back of the chair or something. He doesn't have that, so he doesn't have the luxury. But he has a dragon, so it compensates a little bit. Dragon is good. I would have a dragon. Why not? Dragon is fine. Although probably I will not have a dragon. It will take a lot of like food to take care of it. Probably it will be more expensive than having a car, most likely, to feed a dragon. For example, each day he has to eat a sheep. Every day I have to buy him a sheep to eat. It will be pretty expensive, I think. Yeah, one sheep, how much it costs? Probably $100, maybe 100, maybe even more. So every day $100, $3,000 a month, just the food of the dragon. At least $3,000 a month. He has to also drink, probably, yeah. If he drinks only water, it will be fine. But if he, for example, likes wine, and he drinks like 20 liters of wine every evening, what? And then he eats the sheeps of the neighbor, or at least kill them, and I have to pay for them. No dragons. No, I don't think it's necessary. Dragons are for fairy tales. I don't like them. I don't like to have them. I mean, yeah, if somebody has a dragon and say, would you like to ride my dragon? Oh yeah, of course, no problem. But if I have to, yeah, no, probably not. Because in the fairy tales, it's yeah, very easy. I find the dragon egg. Oh, it hatches. Oh, I have a dragon now. What can I do? Oh, I will ride it. Yeah, when it grows up. How he will grow up? I will feed him whatever. I will send him to hunt, and the dragon goes to hunt, and everything is okay. And all that. But nowadays, it's not exactly like that. He will be seen. They will either hunt him and kill him, because he looks like very scary, dragon with big teeth and everything. Or they will catch him and put him in a cage and show him in some kind of a freak show thing. It's not a good idea to have a dragon these days, I think. Yeah, back in the days, yeah, when I was young, like a few hundred years ago, it was fine. But now, now it's not exactly. Yeah. Did I say few hundred? No, no, no. A few thousand years ago when I was young. Yeah. My childhood friend was Julius Caesar, by the way, and he was pretty fine. I don't know why he was killed, but yeah, it's normal politics. Symmetrize, and then press X to have symmetry, because without symmetry we'll be doomed. Now, uh, without any further ado, or with no further ado or ado, I don't know. We will make the knuckles. So it will be first knuckle, second knuckle, third knuckle. All right, we have three knuckles, and between them we will push, 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 and that's basically it. Of course, the bottom part of the palm is bigger than the top part of the palm, if we may say, and you will notice on your hand how the knuckles are starting much deeper. After that, you see, knuckles are here, and see what I have some kind of a thing here. This distance is pretty big, so that's what I'm trying to achieve here. I will pull the lower part a little bit, so we have this ramp like this, and we will have the knuckles here, and from there we will have the fingers. But the fingers, we'll do them just in a few seconds or minutes, or at least hours. I'm not sure, we'll see. Probably not hours, probably it's theirs, not ours. Alright, now it's very funny, I know. It's always funny to be funny, especially if you think you're funny. If you think you're funny, you're the best. If you don't think you're funny, you are trying too hard to be funny, and then you're not funny at all. But that's a philosophical thing. By the way, we have to make those phalanges of the thumb, because we see them here. We see 1 and 2. We have 1 and 2, which is great. For the fingers, maybe also for the fingers, we'll see. Now, let's make the fingers. How? We go to object mode, we add a cube, we press tab, we make it smaller and adjust it with G and move it with S, make it smaller, and then we have to put it here in this position. Of course, we could save this time by just putting the 3D cursor here, and then the object will appear in this position, but I always forget to do that, and I'm not used to doing this with the 3D cursor. So that's why I'm doing it manually, and it's not taking too much time, as you see, for like 20-25 seconds. I'm not sure. We are okay. So I will dial it a little bit down, make it a bit bigger, and then I'll select this polygon, and with control right click, yes, we'll make the fingers like this. This is one of our fingers. We will go to modifier tab and add subdivision surface modifier, which will be 2 times subdivision surface. Okay, 3 times will be the best. 3 times, so levels viewport and render 3, and then we will apply it. When we go out of edit mode, apply it, and no, I will control Z, I don't want to apply it yet. Go to edit mode, press A to select everything, press 2, so you select the edges, and then shift E and move a little bit, but not too much. So you will see the crease there on the upper part, crease plus 0.190, and I will increase it up to 0.2 something, and I will leave it like this. Now I can go back to object mode and apply, and now we will have this, which will be our basic finger. And as you can see, our fingers here on our hero are squarish, and that's why I creased it so it could be squarish. Now this finger could be a little bit thicker, probably. It's not thick enough, but I don't want to make it super thick, because I want to have a little bit of distance between fingers. On the general, I want to have distance between fingers, basically. As you can see, when we have fingers, we have a little bit of, flat distance between those fingers. You see, like this, maybe you will see it a little bit there. Yeah, between those two, we don't have that much flat space, but between here and here, we have this kind of a flat space. So that's what I want to achieve most of the time. But here we will, and we need it, by the way, this space, to be able to modify the fingers better. It will be easier to modify them with this space. In this case, I don't know. I will move this a little bit like this, so it's closer to fist position than to straight position of the fingers. And then Shift D. This is now in edit mode, as you can probably say. I will just do this. And then move. And then I'm leaving a little bit of a flat space between the fingers. And then this one. Of course, the pinky is always a little bit smaller, so I will just decrease the size of it with S. And then I'll put it here, rotate it a bit. And maybe I will move it a little bit, because if you notice, maybe you will notice, your pinky knuckle is a little bit more down than the others if you pull your hand up. So it's a little bit more backward, the knuckle of the pinky. That's why also the pinky is smaller than the others, maybe. Now I will press Q, and in here, okay, we need -X to X, symmetrize, and now we have some fingers. They don't look the best. Yeah, I noticed that they don't look the best, but they look decent. So I'll select the fingers, press X for symmetry, and just continue to working on them. Or continue to work on them, because continue to working on them will probably not be exactly the right way to say it. Continue to work on them. Yes, to working? No. Alright, so now, if you notice this arm here, you will see that the wrist from above, from here, from this position, is very thick. From this position, we don't see it. I mean, this is also positioned from below. This is from this position, from below it. So we're not sure how thick it will be in just normal position like this. So we will see. Maybe later we will fix it, or just we'll see. Let's just connect the fingers at some point with the arms. Here I will push, and as I told you, this is the other way to make the fingers. Not that it's easier or something, not that it's harder, it's just different way. And I've shown you both ways. Sometimes I use this way, sometimes I use the other. Of course, if I want them, the fingers to be very precise, especially human fingers, I do them this way, because they are like kind of a squarish, they have a squarish form, which helps. The thumb, by the way, since it should be the thickest, I will increase the thickness of it, because it was pretty thin. And don't make the mistake, except for the dragon, to make the thumb thinner than the other fingers, because most of the time it's not. It's a little bit thicker, and it's some, stylized characters, it could be a lot thicker than the other fingers. So yeah, just make sure you don't do it too thin. Okay, we have some fingers. They don't look the best, they don't look the worst. By the way, we can even rig the characters' arms to make them in a fist at some point. We can make them in the fist without rigging them. It's kind of possible, but I think it will be more convenient if we rig them. It will not be a problem. Rigging is pretty easy in Blender. I'm talking about very basic rigging. I'm not talking about any advanced riggings or something, just basic rigging, just to make some pose. The same way I did the pose of this guy. I rigged the hand, I moved it close to the body because it was not that close, and I made the hand kind of grab the ball, and this hand also move it a little bit close to the body. Then I moved a little bit the head to look on the side, and then I fixed a lot of things which were broken after that. But that's our, our curse. We have to do it. Now, for the legs, how to do them? It's a little bit, I'm a little bit concerned about the legs. Maybe we should do one kind of a leg, but thick, with pants, not without pants. The leg will be with pants, and we will kind of make them both like, I'm not sure. Let's do something. But first, let's connect the fingers and the arms. So just select them in object mode with Control or Shift select this, and Control J, and then go to sculpt mode. And when you have this is the face sets. You go face sets and face sets from visible, and it will disappear if they're different. And now Control R, we're not gonna do it. So we will Control Z, then Shift R, and this should do, Control R. And this is kind of fine. We are okay with this. Yeah, we have arms. And they're looking awesome, amazing, the best. No, they're not looking awesome, amazing, the best, but they're looking decent. So next thing, we want to have one leg. How I will do it, let me show you. We will get a mesh sphere, press tab, put it somewhere here, we don't care, and then make it smaller and longer, and like this. And this will be the basics of our leg, like this, even smaller, and here. And now I will start working on it to make it look like a leg. I know it sounds a bit like, what is this guy doing? But yeah, bear with me here, we will try to do it. So this will be our leg. We'll push in this area. So this is the ass and going like the upper leg. And then this is the lower leg. Here we will have kind of a big part because this is with pants. He has big pants. And this will be kind of our leg. Of course, Control R will help us achieve our goal. And I'm trying to imagine how his legs will go when he's sitting like this way. And if I want, I will go to add a mirror modifier, and I will have both legs, and I can modify them just to see the other leg how it could look. It will probably not be exactly like this, but whatever. But whatever we do, we probably need this guy to sit. That's the most probable thing we need, him to sit down. I will make him a little bit thinner in the body. Maybe his arms are a little bit too long, I'm not sure yet, we'll see. But we need to put him down a little bit, so I will select everything and put him down like this. And now you see, he's now sitting on his place, on the dragon. Of course, maybe he can go a little bit forward. Yeah, he could go a little bit forward. But no, see the distance between the leg and the horn of the dragon is kind of the same in our case. So I will restrain of doing too much. I mean, this is a good position of him. You can put him forward and backward, of course, if you want so, but yeah, this is looking good. Of course, his head could be a little bit bigger, I think. But let's try something. Let's try putting the concept. Let's select just nothing, then drag the concept from the other screen here and just scale it, G, then move it, and we will try to put it into position like this, scale it. Yeah, this is a little bit of, eyeballing, but still. I will try to achieve the body. If we press Control Shift Z, we will be in... Oops, I pressed A, which is not good. Shift Z, we will be in X-ray mode, so it will be easier. Okay, the body should be something like this. Increase, And the boy. The boy should be with. Let's see. Let's move this up. Okay, maybe the boy's head will be a little bit bigger. Let's go to tab. And if you have a lot of polygons on the head, on the boy's head, and your computer is not very good, don't do this. Don't do tab. Just select it without going into edit mode and scale it. And then move it back into position. I mean like this. Move it back into where it should be. What I will do is I will go inside edit mode and select everything and scale it. But I don't recommend it if you are if your life is like you like your life. Don't do it. By the way, if we want this image to be exactly in the side view, so we can check out the proportions of the head of our guy, we'll delete this one. We'll go to the side view with numpad 3. Press home. Numpad 3 is the side view. And probably, yeah, this is a little bit problematic, but let's put it here. Increase it. Let's eyeball it a little bit. The size of the dragon ass where it should be. The dragon. Yeah, it's difficult for me. I'm trying to think here. It's difficult to talk and think at the same time. Yeah, with Alt Z, we'll be able to make this. And then this is the X-ray mode. And let's try to achieve a nice head. Okay, with G I will move it until it's... Let's increase the size of it. Okay, now it's kind of fine. But if I select the head and then go to sculpt mode, I can just adjust. And basically you can see now it should be a bit closer. And the eye will go more in. The head is not very interesting for us. The ear will go down. And the back of the head will go up around here. Basically this should be it. Yeah, he should have a bigger smile like this. Not smile, but mouth. Wow. Yeah, this is very interesting. We will just move it a bit like this. And now the head, we have to fix some things because the cheeks are a little bit strange. We will fix them. By just smoothing some areas. Other areas not so much. The idea here is that we have now the right proportions of the head. Basically the dragon compared to the other parts is not maybe the best. But we'll see. Yeah, I don't want his mouth to be that huge. So I'll make it a bit smaller. But you see the eyes, I had to move them in. So when we put the eyeballs at some point, they will be in the right position. Most likely. I will push also this. Because from the bottom view, we need to have also curve here on the forehead. We don't want it to be flat. Because if it's flat, he will have very huge eyebrow areas, which is not good. Especially for a kid, it's... We have to be very careful with these things. He's looking kinda nice. And we have to try at least to make it as good as possible, especially the boy's head and the dragon's head. They are the most important things probably, because other things after that, they will not be as difficult most likely, but the boy's head and dragon's head are important very much. I'm thinking maybe the boy. Let's see. Let's see. So the the height. Let's draw a little bit here again. So this distance between the dragon's eyebrow and the chin of the boy, this distance is kind of the distance of the height of the head. So in our case it's not like this. I mean, in our case this distance is greater than this distance. So maybe we should pull the head down a little bit. That's what I'm thinking. Yeah, and sometimes we have to do this kind of things. It's inevitable. I will just move it down. And then the body, I'll move it down. Now I think it's better, but we will see. You see, we still don't have all the parts. We still don't have the basics of the feathers. We still don't have the skull here. All those things are important for the overall look. And when we have them, then we'll be able to tell if this has to be done, this has to be done, all those things. We'll be able to tell. Now I'm moving the body a little bit. I don't want him to be that hunched, although he's pretty hunched. But I don't want him to be that hunched. In the concept, he's not that much hunched forward. But he is basically hunched. Sometimes I forget that this is a mirror and I cannot touch it because it's the mirror. You cannot touch the mirror, you know. You are only touching one side. The other is a mirror. So yeah, this is it for now. And we've done the boy. We have this plane, by the way, which we can hide. Okay, I will select it's empty plane, yeah. We hide it. And if we want, at some point we will turn it on. But I think our proportions are more or less fine. They are looking kind of fine. We can also do this. We can make this and adjust our dragon relatively close like this to it, and then we can make a screenshot and then we can post it in my Discord channel, for example, in whips, and there will be visible if something is bigger or smaller or something is bad. For example, the dragon's head is a little bit too strong in the jaw area, so we can fix that. Yes. But overall, it's looking relatively fine. Of course, those teeth are not very nice. Some things are not very nice, but we'll do it. Yeah, this is looking fine. It's looking fine. Now, let's finish this video and continue in the next one, which we will probably do a basics of the feathers. Just the base of the feathers, just kind of a plane in which the feathers then will be, just to see how much space they will take and everything, just like a 3D sketch. Very basic plane I will put there probably, and just make it as a shape of the feathers. Then we will make one feather and we will replicate it, we will move and adjust, and then we'll make the bird's head. But the most important thing in the beginning is to make all those shapes kind of a rough, to make sure everything fits together, especially in this kind of a more complex composition with 2 characters and pose. And then we can continue adding details from there when we are ready. We can even make the pose for the legs of our dragon, but probably we should do them when we are ready with the details on the legs, because I don't want to do them one leg and then the other leg. I should do one and then replicate it to the other side and then make the pose. And this will be, I think, the smarter decision. But yeah, see you in the next video.